Hello lads and welcome to episode 7 of Sunderland's Resurgence, and we have gone on a bit of a resurgence in recent times. Look at this form here. It's not bad, is it? Obviously 5 wins and 6 with a couple of draws before that. We are starting to pick up form. I left you off when we played Preston and we lost 2. Well, we did lose 2-0, but there was a glitch afterwards, so I think we won against QPR 1-0 and then we lost 2-0 to Preston. But there was a glitch at the end. If you watch the episode, you'll know I couldn't save it from there, so I had to restart and just play it so I got the same results. Since then, we've actually won against Derby and Sheffield Wednesday. You can see here that we were 3-0 up in this game against Derby, and Tom Huddleston made it nervy last few minutes, but we managed to see through that. As well as that, we played Sheffield Wednesday. We did go 2-0 up and we didn't actually concede from there. Flamini was actually sent off in the 93rd minute. If we look at the scoreline closely, you'll see there we actually missed 2 penalties late on. Not because they were bad penalties, but just because the second one was a class save and the first one was a double save. So, fair play to him. But our penalty record hasn't been great, has it, when we've stepped up to the spot. But it's been, good moments behind our success, and I'm going to just show you here that during this Derby game, Aidan McGeady played him in a Tequatrista role, and he actually got 3 assists, creating 3 key chances as well, I think. After that, he got injured for 3 to 4 months, so that's not great. In this episode today, we've got 2 games against Leeds and Norwich, 2 big clubs in the league, one sitting about mid-table, one sitting actually quite low in the table, just ahead of us, so we could catch up to them if we manage to keep our good run of form going. I think we're like 3rd in the league table in terms of form. Nothing's really happened since, so I'm just going to go straight into this game against Leeds, playing a similar way that we have in the previous 2. You can see Wes Hoolahan and Duncan Watmore, they're not really suited to their role, but you look here, when we play him here as a poacher, it doesn't tell you here, but he's actually got decent stats with his pace, and he's been scoring some goals. He scored a goal against Derby, I believe, so I've kept him in the side in this position. He's not complained about it. We're probably going to start training him there as well, just because at the moment we've got so limited options. James Vaughan coming back from injury, and we've got Josh Madger, who's been very poor since coming in. Not his fault that he's been forced in at that age, but again, Wes Hoolahan, he's good in this position. This time it'll actually allow us to see his stats in that position. We've got the 15s and 16s where it's all blue, so he's suited to that position, but he's just not familiar with it. In terms of the shape, we're going to be playing an attacking structured formation, and we're going to be playing a bit of football as well. In terms of our Leeds' setup, they've got Pablo Hernandez in the middle here, Alioski, Lesoga, and Rennie Adelaide is actually on the other flank. They've got Vernon Anita, Ronaldo Vieira in the centre of midfield, Cameron Borthwick-Jackson and Wiedwald. Pontus Jansson will be a key player as well. Alright, team talk, how we're keep the run of form going, that's it. Just keep the momentum going. We want to ideally carry it into next season. I don't know how long this form's going to last though, because we're not used to winning on the bounce that many times. So Hernandez whipping a free kick, Vernon Anita gets it to his feet, and someone should be marking him, despite him not being the biggest goal threat in the world, at the back post. And Dong's picked up an injury. We'll probably wait till half time to see what it is. It's a potential groin injury. That's exactly what Gibson suffered in the last game. We did take him off at half time. I think I'm going to do the same here. Maybe put Jack Rodwell on. Right, half time, 0-0. It's been mostly Leeds. I'm not going to lie. You can see by the stats there that yeah, we need to change something. Didier Dong's coming off of Jack Rodwell just because, injury precautions. And I'm going to have a fiddle with the tactics, see what can happen. Right, our attacking players hasn't been playing well. If I were to switch the position of Watmore and Gooch and perhaps play Gooch as a bit more of a shadow striker, we'll see what comes of that. Approaching the hour mark, we still haven't had a shot on target. If we can draw this game, I'll be fine with it. Leeds are a decent side, despite them probably... Oh no, they're really pushing for the playoffs this season, so they've got something to fight for. They're playing us, and they're absolutely dominating us. Saying that, it looks like we've got a highlight. Oviedo, straight into the hands of Wiedwald. I was getting excited there. Last 10 minutes, let's not lose it from here. That's the main objective here. You know it's going well for you if you win the game when you've not really had a shot on target yet, I don't think. Jack Rodwell, as I was saying that, he's not offside. And the assist from Duncan Watmore, who I did move to that right-hand side. Jack Rodwell scored, well, I think his first goal of the season. Assist coming from Duncan Watmore. And we didn't have many shots before that. You saw the stats. And could we nick this here? And that's a sign of a team that's in good form. Even if they're doing poorly in the game, they can still nick one and turn it round. Goodness sake, we shouldn't be putting this much pressure on ourselves this late. But the ref's blown for full time, and it's another victory for us. Unbelievable stuff. We might have a few players out soon. Didier Ndong's obviously injured, and we've got a few bookings as well, so I'm not sure who's in, who's out. But Leeds had 17 shots, but to be fair, they only had 2 on target, so that's something down to them. Everyone's in good spirits. The morale is only getting better. It's a good win, boys. Well done. You may not have performed your best, but you know, you impressed us. You impressed us with how you still managed the game despite being on the back foot. Didier Ndong's injury was a pulled groin over 4 to 8 days, so it's not too bad, but at the same time, it's like we're not going to really risk him in the next game. We're going to leave him to the physio. And his replacement actually scored, so yeah, something to live up to, Didier. Right, it's going to be a slightly different team. Obviously, Ndong's still suffering from that groin injury he suffered in the last match. Jack Rodwell's come in for him, as he did during that game. Brendan Galloway's also come in for Brian Oviedo. He's not the fittest. Physical condition is 70%. Brendan Galloway's got a good, you know, he's been in good form when he's come on. He's 6.9, not bad recent form. And yeah, and again, a couple of injured players on the bench, but I believe this team's good enough to play Norwich and beat them. I think we're ahead of them in the league table now, so it's nice to be able to say that, but it's important that we don't rest on our laurels and get the job done like we did against Leeds. Norwich's biggest threat, I'd say, is actually one of the younger players, Josh Murphy. Cameron Jerome's, he can be a good championship striker. He hasn't really shown it in real life this season. I've also got like, I think that's Harrison Reed, it is. Tim Closer in the back was good when he first came in for Norwich. Obviously hasn't been great since moving down to the Championship. Again, keep the run of form going. That's what we want to do. That's our aim. We are going to talk to the players and just say there's a lot to come from them. We've got a happy squad. Our form hasn't been great at the Stadium of Light, but it's obviously improved since my arrival. As a corner's whipped in, Duncan Watmore to Paddy McNair. Back to Duncan Watmore. See, he's creating chances in that poacher role that he's got, even if he is injured. I hope that's him not flattered on the floor. No, he's recovered from his injury. I'd like to know what it is, actually. Everyone's suffering groin injuries. Like, that's 3 injuries in a row where it's been like a potential groin injury. Where's Houlihan? Just finding space. That's what I've told him to do. Just find space and we'll play it around you, because he's got good technical attributes. Now he's found the space again at the back post this time, and he decides to take on the shot, which it was the right option, but we've hit the post. Being on top this first half ended 0-0, but at the same time it's not a bad result so far. I'm obviously going to take not getting beat, but at the same time, they're there for the taking. I'm going to say keep going and you can still win it. They've got Wilshire injured now, one of their attacking threats. But they have got a set piece here which they can threat from. Cameron Jerome to Josh Murphy. And that's 1-0 Norwich. The second half they've come out and they've probably played a bit better, I'd say. We've dropped down to 18th, which is, in a way, it's nice to say that we're not dropping into the relegation zone. But it's not good enough, allowing him that much space from that far out. Brendan Galloway miscontrols that, but we have got possession back as Houlihan plays it to Rodwell into the space where Ndong is. Brown in there operating space and manages to sort it out. Browning from a cross. Unbelievable strike from him. He scored his first Sunderland goal and we've moved back up to 17th. That's a strange goal to score. I forgot to mention we actually did concede a goal like that to Derby, where we did concede a cross. This one's a bit strange. It's more like Adam Matthews against Millwall, where the keeper should have done a lot better to just claim the cross. But instead it's been blasted into the back of the net in an ideal circumstance for us. We'll take the point, considering the way we've been playing, the way injuries have stacked up. We've got half a minute to hold on, and as we launch the ball forward, it's a game of pretty much like long ball, and they've scored. It's offside. It's offside. The assistant hasn't moved. He's got his flag up. Everything is okay. Norwich, there was tricky opposition. The league position doesn't show it, but I did highlight Josh Murphy before the game, and he scored. It's a good game from us, and I'll say well played, lads. And that caps off today's episode. Sunderland, where are we now? With 8 points from the relegation zone, which is great. We have still overtaken Norwich. Other teams like Sheffield Wednesday, Nottingham Forest down there. Nottingham Forest have been there in recent times. Reading, 22nd, we play them next. I'll probably come back during the Fulham and Wolves games. Just play the two again, Reading and Burton. 2 games that we actually should be winning. And then Fulham and Wolves, who are up the table. Wolves have just been promoted, you know, mathematically. So it's a big moment for them. But can we possibly capitalise on some complacency from them? You never know. Dressing room atmosphere, that was a problem before. It's now our best attribute at the moment on 78%. And we are suddenly twisting the boat. Hopefully we can get it sailing in the right direction at the end of this season, carry us some momentum into next. So thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this episode, please give it a like. Tell us what you think of, you know, our injury situation is a bit poor. Mainly our attacking players are out injured, so I'm kind of happy we managed to get a point against Norwich, and we obviously a goal against Leeds where we weren't playing great. So, you know, it's good time at the moment. Thank you all for watching once again.